All right, guys. So I don't think I've read one piece of good news about Joe Biden since Afghanistan. Okay, he's failed on every single front, whether it comes to domestic policy or foreign policy. Joe Biden literally may be in the running for worst president ever, and that's not even an exaggeration. Like, it's just not at this point. I mean, I think it's a legitimate conversation to say this dude might be the worst president ever. I don't know if a president has had a worse first 8 to 9 months than Joe Biden has thus far. Okay, I don't know, because what's happening to this country, right? And our standing on the world stage is not good, right? It's not good. It is historically bad, in fact. Now, it gets even worse as Biden's poll numbers are now even worse than the most disliked Democratic politician in his own party, Kamala Harris, his vice president. Yes, that's right. Kamala Harris is now more popular than Joe Biden. And guys, again, that is really saying something about how bad Joe Biden is doing. The most disliked Democrat politician, Kamala, by far, right? Like, we found that out during the primaries, is now more popular than he is. Okay, that is how far he's fallen. As the new poll numbers are supporting the idea that Biden's presidency is continuing to be a disaster, and he cannot hide it anymore, right? President Joe Biden has been slipping so fast in the polls, even his VP is now ahead of him. Maybe that's why Kamala hasn't been seen on the southern border as the crisis worsens by the day. But back to the polling numbers. A new Gallup, usually very accurate survey, places Biden approval rating at 43%, the lowest of his presidency. I mean, this dude is almost in the 30% now. Harris, the Gallup poll is now asking, came in with an even 49 approval and 49 disapproving. Quote, these findings are from September 1st to 17th, the Gallup poll that was conducted after the U.S. military evacuated more than 120,000 people from Afghanistan. Gallup posted Wednesday. Biden keeps heading in the wrong direction. Herald weekly poll watching shows as the administration confronts a pandemic that won't let up, a deadly pullout from Kabul, natural disasters, a $3.5 trillion social spending package, and the aforementioned border crisis. The Biden administration's special envoy to Haiti resigned Thursday, protesting inhumane large-scale expulsions of Haitian migrants to their homeland, AP reports. Now, that's actually an interesting point, because not only is Biden being attacked from the right in regards to this immigration issue, he's also being attacked from the left, right? The progressives are going after him for deporting some of these Haitian migrants under Title 42, right? They're accusing him of being like Trump, while at the same time, the right is saying that Biden's not being tough enough, right? That's what they're saying. So he cannot win on this immigration issue. And I think that these declining poll numbers is the reason why Kamala has distanced herself from Biden. Again, guys, you remember at the beginning of Biden's presidency, it was Biden-Harris, right? They was doing everything together. They were two peas in a pod. They couldn't be detached from each other. They was boyfriend and girlfriend, basically, right? Joe and Kamala. Okay, now all of a sudden you're saying Kamala's not with Joe like that, right? Kamala's just kind of doing her own thing, right? She's kind of distanced herself from a lot of this stuff. I mean, even when it comes to the border crisis, guys, when Kamala speaks on it, she doesn't ever take responsibility, right? She doesn't ever acknowledge that she's supposed to be in charge of it. She always just kind of puts it off on Alejandro Mayorkas. And I think the reason why she's doing that is because she's trying to politically distance herself from Biden at this point, right? She knows that Biden is a fallen stock, right? That he is now toxic. So to her, in order to save her legacy, to save her chances of being a Democrat nominee in 2024, she has to distance herself from Biden. And I truly do believe that that is what she's consciously doing, right? She hasn't commented on the vaccine mandates, not to my knowledge. Right now, I don't know if she supports them or not. She probably does, but she has not commented on the most unpopular aspects of the Biden administration, right? But she has really distanced herself from a lot of the most unpopular aspects of the Biden administration, okay? Like Afghanistan. She was nowhere to be found on that, right? Like I said, with this immigration crisis, She talks about it, but she never acknowledges that she's the one that's supposed to be in charge. She never acknowledges it. Well, the reason why is because she wants to distance herself from it. It's everybody else's fault except hers, right? It's Biden's fault. It's Mariaka's fault. It's the Border Patrol's fault. It's the horse's fault. It's everybody else's fault except hers, even though she's the border czar. That's being done on purpose. She never wanted the immigration assignment. Biden threw it on her because he knew that it was an unwinnable issue. He knew that. And I don't think Kamala really appreciated that much. That's why she's not really trying to take any responsibility for what's going on, right? She's trying to act stupid, play dumb about it. Here's the category Democrats should worry about. Gallup reports independents who often, if not always, decide elections are dropping Biden like a hot pan. Independents have shown the greatest variation in their opinions of how Biden is doing. Biden's current 37% approval rating among independents is his lowest to date and 24 points below his personal high of 61%. Two-thirds of Biden's slide among independents since he took office has occurred in the past 3 months, Gallup states. All right, again, his poll numbers falling among independents, which is a huge category, right? That's a key category. Independents win elections, okay? And his approval rating falling so much among independents means that they definitely not agree with what he's doing on Afghanistan. And it seems like they don't agree with what he's doing in regards to the border either. And probably the economy as well, and other issues that we have in this country that he's just absolutely failing on. Democrats, however, still love him. Gallup has him polling at 90% approval rating in his party, although Biden's U.S. Representative Ayanna Pressley ripped into the treatment of Haitians on the border. Yep, that's what I was talking about in terms of the left going after Biden for the border. Compared to Trump, another poll, according to The Hill, places former President Donald Trump at 48% approval compared to 46% approval for Biden. That poll, released earlier this week from Harvard Capps Harris poll, adds 51% think Trump was a better president. Ouch. That's better than the election and says a lot about the midterms in 2024. Stay tuned. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%. So, yeah, Trump's approval rating right now is higher than Biden's, and more people think, a majority of Americans think Trump was a better president than Biden. Now, those people who think otherwise, that Trump is a worse president than Biden, those people are smoking crack, right? They own that Hunter Biden, right? They smoking that Hunter Biden, because there's no way that you can see the first 8 months of what Biden has done and think that Biden has been a better president than Trump. Like, come on now. It all continues to go downhill from here in regards to the Biden administration and his presidency, in my opinion. Now, could he recover? Sure he could recover, right? The economy could recover. We might not necessarily continue to see inflation, but I think it's more likely than not that we're going to see some type of major crash, right? We're going to see some type of major economic downturn because we're long due for one, right? And I think that's also the reason why the Biden administration is so pressed about passing this infrastructure package, is because they want to do that as kind of a hedge against a potential economic downturn, okay? But I do see that coming on the horizon. And if it does, under the Biden administration, I mean, that's essentially going to be the nail in the coffin, because what really decides elections, guys, is how the economy is doing at the time of the election. If the economy is doing well, then most likely the incumbent is going to win, right? If the economy is not doing well, then most likely they're going to lose, right? That's just kind of how it goes. A lot of it just comes down to the economy. And Biden hasn't even done great on that, considering how earlier predictions from this year was that we were going to have a red hot economy. We were going to have records amount of growth. But he has really, kind of bumbled that as well, with, kind of the way he's handled this whole unemployment thing, the way that they've overextended these lockdowns. They haven't encouraged people to go back to work because they've been fear-mongering people. He's really been his own worst enemy. And by extension, being a best friend to Trump, because Trump is crushing Biden and Harris in a poll from Rasmussen, as they have Trump winning 51-41 over Biden, right, with overwhelming support from independents by 20 points, and winning 52% to 39% over Kamala, right? So the winner in all this is really Trump. It really is. Because the thing is, guys, the Republicans, the anti-Trump Republicans, the Neville Trumpers, have basically made the argument that, well, Trump's an unwinnable candidate, right? He's somebody, he can't beat Biden. He's unelectable. So we shouldn't run Trump in 2024. He shouldn't run. That's the argument. Because right now, Trump is winning, right, in the Republican primary. If there was a primary held today, Trump's going to win, right? I mean, with DeSantis being second, okay? And it's not even really a close second. But people have argued that they should run DeSantis over Trump because DeSantis is more electable. So that's been like the biggest argument against, Trump not being a Republican nominee, is whether or not he can actually beat Biden. But these polls are suggesting that Trump can beat Biden. And in my opinion, I think that it's more likely than not, if things continue to go the way they're going, that Trump would beat Biden, right? He would beat Biden or Kamala. He would definitely beat Kamala. And quite honestly, I don't think it's going to get better for Biden. I just don't. I think that his mental decline is going to continue. I think that we're likely to see some type of, economic disaster, right? I mean, we got that Evergrande crisis in China, right? That doesn't really have anything to do with the U.S., but that's having a global impact on the market. Again, wouldn't be surprised to see some type of domestic financial crisis. I just don't see it getting better for the Biden administration. And I think that this is really paving the way for Trump to make a strong comeback in 2024. But who knows? I mean, we'll see. I think it really will come down to how the economy is doing at the time of the election. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.